Remind everyone, we will start with opening comments from Coach, followed by questions for the student athletes. The student athletes will then be dismissed, and we will open up for questions for Coach Tamas. So, Coach, your thoughts on being in the national semifinals and your matchup against Nebraska?
Yeah, happy to be here, and been here a couple of times before with Nebraska, so familiar with them and familiar with them as a conference opponent as well. So we like the matchup, obviously, and we split this year at each other's home, so it should be a good matchup on a neutral floor. As far as the thoughts on the season goes, this is a 2-year process for us. I came here in February of last year, made the Sweet 16 last year, and had a nice run last year, but just continue on from there. And with the leadership of 3 seniors sitting next to me, the team's just heading in a great direction right now, as seen by us being here. Just really proud of the work that they put in, and the challenge every day that I put to them is to come in and give it your all. And this team did it in spades, has done it in spades, and will continue to do that. And just really proud of their efforts. The support we received has been phenomenal, not just from our own athletic department, but also from University of Illinois and the general Champaign-Urbana community. It's just been great. So happy to represent all of us in that effort, and proud to be here.
Okay, we'll open up for questions for the student athletes. If you could raise your hand, and we'll bring the microphone to you. Right down in front, right here.
Scott Ritchie with the Champaign News-Gazette. Jordyn, Chris mentioned this was a 2-year process. Just now that you're maybe hitting that final stage of it, what do you kind of look back at that 2 years and the path that led you here? Just what happened to make sure you got to this place?
I think we put in a lot of time to just get better as volleyball players. I think when Chris came in, we had not even enough people in the gym to make up a full 6-on-6, and I remember we spent the first week that he was here just learning how to dive on the floor and learning how to just move our bodies in a way that would make us better volleyball players. And I think that we've come into the gym every day and kind of had the expectation that we were there to get better, and we've taken it one day at a time for the last 2 years basically, and I think it's led us to a good place, and it's put us in this position.
Down in front here. Thanks.
Brett Behrens, WCIA. Ali, how much does it help you playing a team that you've already beat before, and do you like playing a Big Ten team again?
Yeah, always playing a Big Ten team is awesome. It's one of the best conferences in the U.S., and we know Nebraska. We've played them twice already, and it'll help us, but also, it's the semifinals. Every team is going to bring their best game, and I think we have to bring our best against Nebraska. And they're a very good team. They're playing very good volleyball right now, and so are we. So it should be a battle.
In the back right.
Dave Lone, Fighting Illini Sports Network. Blayke, talk about your career. You've been the ultimate utility player at Illinois. You've done everything asked, and talk about your journey, if you would.
So I came here my sophomore year from NC State, and it has been a great challenge because the Big Ten is a huge step above the ACC, and so it was a big adjustment. And this year, Chris had asked that I train all 3 front row positions, and it's been the most fun I think I've ever had playing volleyball. It's new and fresh every day, and I just have really loved having that role on the team.
Nico Hefflinger, Fox Champaign. Jordyn, you've gotten to play the last 4 matches at home. Any kind of difference going to be, having to reacclimate to playing on the road?
I don't know that it'll be a huge adjustment. Just, it has been really nice being able to stay in our routines at home, being able to sleep in our own beds, being able to go to school. But, I don't think we wish we were at home right now because so many other teams are. And, we're really happy that we still get to put on the knee pads and lace up our shoes in this last weekend of competition.
Right here.
Yes. For Ali and Jordyn, both of you, you're named All-Americans this morning. Just what does that honor mean to you to kind of put a part of a cap on your senior season?
I mean, it just goes back to what Chris says. Every time something like this happens, it's a team award, it's a team effort, and none of us could get, even Jacqueline, could get those awards without having the other 5 people on the court with us. And it's a true testament to our team to have 3 All-Americans. I wish everyone could be an All-American because I think we truly have a complete team. All of our rotations are so complete, and I think we really test a lot of teams, and I mean, it's great to represent that way.
Jordyn, you want to answer that one?
Yeah, I just think it's a nice reflection that, we're here at the Final Four, and, individual awards are always nice, but I think that us being here right now makes a bigger statement than any individual award that we garner. So like Ali said, even the girls who don't see the court as much during matches, they come in and bust their butt every day to make us better. And if you don't have that competition in the gym every day, then it makes it really hard when you go up against a really good opponent. So it's nice. It's a nice honor, but I think this speaks volumes way more than the All-American honors.
Any more questions for the student athletes? One more in front.
For any of you 3, I mean, after Saturday's win against Wisconsin, you've had the build up to now. Is there any difference being here in Minneapolis, knowing the national semifinals are tomorrow?
I mean, it's exciting. We're definitely taking advantage of soaking in every moment. I mean, this is new for everyone, and so I think we're really just trying to enjoy every moment we have right now. And when it comes to game time tomorrow, I don't think it's going to be any different. We're going to stick to our routine and do what we usually do. And I mean, yes, it's going to be a big crowd. It's going to be a lot of excitement, but I think we just need to focus in on each other and the team and stay focused on our goal.
One more question for the student athletes? Okay, thanks, Ali, Jordyn, and Blayke.
Thank you.
Thanks.
In a moment, we'll open up for questions for Coach Tamas. Okay, if you could raise your hand, and we'll bring the microphone to you. Right here.
Yeah, Michelle Vopel, ESPNW. Coach, can you, you talked about this being a process. Can you take us back to when you first came in there? Obviously, it's a group of kids you're having to get used to. There's some disappointment on their part. You're kind of having to win them over a little bit. Can you just talk us through that process?
Yeah, my hiring happened fairly quickly. I had, we just gotten off a national semifinal, back-to-back championship in 2015 and the semifinal with Nebraska, and sitting on the couch and got an email at 10:30 at night from Josh Whitman and just saying, hey, want to bring you out here for an interview. And between that moment and when I got hired was probably about 48 hours, maybe a little bit more than that. And, in the process, it was just, here's our vision for the program, here's where we want you to be, and here's where we're at right now. And I said, I welcome those challenges, and the first meeting with them was, like Jordyn said, we didn't have enough players to field a 6-on-6. We were at a big conference room, and it was 9 players looking at me like, what to do next? They came off not being in the tournament that year, and it was just kind of like, we want to win. We want to know what that's like. And I said, well, it's not going to be easy, but if we have, the correct work ethic and you understand how to work as a team, then I can get you guys to a good place. And, you can never fully say you're going to be in some location at the end of any time frame. We just want to take everything one day at a time and just do the best that we can in that moment. And that mantra has been there since day one, and they've really taken it to heart. They really come in every day, and I can honestly say they get after it, every single time we're in the gym, every single time they're in the classroom. We make sure all that stuff's important for them so they can focus on what we're doing on the court. And they, like I said, this group is hungry, and they did it, you know, every single day that we were in the gym, and every single day that they're just attacking life. So really, it's just a, you know, that's part of the 2-year process. And then, you know, this year we had an amazing season, and, you know, some tight matches. You know, I'm glad that Blayke got the question earlier. We started the season out with an injury to one of our now starters, and Blayke had to go play a role that she had never played before. She played opposite. We had to flip Megan to the outside, and we came away with 3 really crucial victories at our first preseason tournament, and set us up to have a good RPI, to be in the position to, you know, to be here and host through the regional, and now here in the Final Four. So everyone's played a role. Everyone's been great in playing their role, and it's just been a really good experience since day one. So.
Andy Greeter with the St. Paul Pioneer Press. John Cook was in Minneapolis here last weekend, and he felt like there was an unjust disparity of Big Ten teams on one side of the bracket. You're coming off of a game against Wisconsin and now have to play Nebraska. Do you feel like there's that representation in the bracket?
Well, whenever you have that many teams in the tournament, where are you going to put them all? I mean, it's, you know, as if, are you going to put them all in one bracket? It's going to really depend on how the seeding goes, how the RPI goes. You know, the toughest part about being in the conference is you beat up on each other the whole time. So it's very unlikely you're going to get an undefeated champion in the Big Ten rolling through their season. So I don't tend to get caught up too much into that. Again, we just kind of say, this is what we're doing. We're going to take it one day at a time, and whatever opponent you're going to put in front of us, you know, I tell the team all the time, I tell the media all the time, anytime, any place with this team, we'll take on a challenger. And, you know, the other stuff is out of our control, really. It's just, can we take care of business in our own environment?
Jace Frederick, St. Paul Pioneer Press. Coach Michaela Foke has consistently played her best on this stage in recent years. What's the best way to go about, I guess, trying to limit her impact on the game? I've
already texted her, told her I'm going to stop her. So, no, she's a great player. Obviously, really good on the stage. I think, you know, 2-time MVP. She's been in the Final Four in this environment. Same with Kenzie Maloney. So we know that they have really good players. That's expected of any team that's here right now. So a lot of it just comes down to making sure we're mentally prepared for the battle and for the challenge ahead of us. You know, it's not just Kenzie and Michaela, it's the rest on the court at that given time, and the same with us. It's not just Jordyn, Ali, Jack, or whoever's out there. It's how the 6 of us play in that moment. So they're a good team. They're on a roll. They're well coached. I'm familiar with the program, and we'll be expecting a battle tomorrow.
You mentioned after Saturday that just, you know, reaching the Final Four in your second season maybe, you know, validated a little bit of just, you know, your first 2 years as a head coach. What does that mean to you that you've, you know, got that first head coaching job and maybe, you know, were able to direct this team to the Final Four?
Again, I think you always have an idea what you want to do when you're an assistant. You write your notes. I've read my books. I've watched a lot of film. Been around a lot of good coaches in my coaching career. But once it's on you to execute everything, you hope what you're doing is correct. And I think I mentioned to you guys last week, there's always a bit of unknown and you know, how that works. But I've always understood how teams work, and I've been really fortunate to be in very good environments, going back to my high school and club days, really, where that lesson of being a true team is much more valuable than having 1 or 2 really good players. And we have those players as well, but it takes all 6 and everyone else who's a part of your team that may not see the court all the time to be really good at this sport. And just proud the way that's come together, and you know, to be the head of that is a cool experience as well. But I look at it as like I'm doing my part of the job, and I have a bunch of people around me who are really good at their jobs too. I don't need to sit there and micromanage everyone. Everyone's good about, you know, I give them direction and they go. That's not common. I've seen a lot of places where that doesn't happen. So just really happy with how the teams come together, and you know, that goes for the whole Illinois athletics department, not just my own, volleyball group. We really have, we run a team of 35, 40 people that comes in and does their job every day, and that's important.
Kevin Suits, Channel 1011 in Lincoln. Hey, Coach, down here. Your 2 years at Nebraska working under Coach Cook, what do you remember about those, having won a national championship, and how fondly do you hold those memories? And how big of a role did Cook play in the coach that you are today?
Yeah, it's obviously 2 great years that we had there. Championship in 2015, and then a Final Four in 2016, and just learned a lot from John. I try to learn wherever I go. I've been fortunate enough to be around a lot of good coaches, but John's really good in how he runs the program, how he approaches every day. He's no stone unturned with John. I do know that, and I was fortunate enough to work for him, and even in taking this job, he was very gracious in saying, "Hey, we love you here, but it's your time. You're ready. You need to go check this out." So, really gracious in all of his his time with me and what I've learned underneath him. But now it's time to beat him. You can tell him that.
Yeah. This team, has fully bought into that one day at a time, maybe mantra that you brought. How did that happen? Where, they've got kind of a laser focus on that.
I think a part of that's, again, that might be my own mantra and part of how I try to live life too. Part of it out of necessity. I got 3 kids under 4 at home, so I don't have enough time to get into some, future. What's happening a month from now. You need to have a bigger vision about what's going on, but what I've learned over the course of my life, if you're able to just tackle that day and be really good in that day, obviously you need to have some vision for what the team could be or what your life could be, but I try to be an example for them just as much as anything. I think that's as important in my role, and to make sure that I'm showing them how to do it, my staff showing them how to do it, and they're able to see that, and they're able to emulate that as both people and as a team. And same way, we harp a ton on communication with them, and it's really important to be really good communicating team, not just within rallies, but within how we communicate with each other if we have a conflict with one another. It's going to happen. It's no good team is void of conflict. Really good teams know how to handle conflict really well, and so it's just along those lines. I think it's again the example that we put for them, and and this kind of run is proving that it works. So this is the culture that we set up to be, and they're doing a great job at it.
Rachel.
Rachel Blount, Minneapolis Star-Tribune. You're playing a team that has been on the stage so many times, has so much experience at the Final Four. It's all new for your players. What can you do to help your players sort of navigate the new experience here and neutralize some of the advantage that Nebraska might have from having been here before?
Yeah, that's always the interesting question, because you don't know how your team's going to respond in that moment. And we play in big environments in the Big Ten, thousands of fans, but the arena size is different, and some of the variables can be different with timeouts, promotions, and whatnot. I just told them to embrace the moment, and we didn't make it here because we just happened to catch a good end of the year run. We've been good all year, and just to rely on everything that we've done up until now, and the belief. I'm not sure how many people believed that we would be here, but the belief is in the like I said, 35, 40 people that have been working for this since day one, and just to keep looking at each other and just say, I believe, and let's get after it. And they've done a great job of that through the course of the year. So a lot of it's just about managing expectation of the moment. They don't need to play the perfect game to win. They just need to keep doing what they're doing and make sure that they're focused on the right things.
Any more questions for Coach Tamas? All right, thank you very much, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.